Hello, everyone, and I guess you might have seen my recording window here. It's a little like scrappy, but it gets the job done. My setup, I do imagine. Anyways, welcome to the pilot episode of Thinking Outside the Bureau. We're gonna have to do that as well. President Trump did say that he was going to cut a whole lot of regulations, and I've been going through them. I think, let me see here. These are only like 20 out of 117 bills that he has signed, and I've found already 10 regulations that he's cut. It's actually kind of a small number, 117, compared to say, 329 over the 2 years in the 114th Congress and the 113th Congress and the others. No, especially the others. I mean, especially look at this one. The Bush years were pretty busy. I have to admit, oh, and especially those last Clinton years. But these are about not years, but the first not even 100 days, more like 70 days. Maybe if time willing, I might go through the rest of them, but might be kind of strapped for time. I don't want this to be much longer than like 10 minutes. And yeah, you are seeing like some of like the rest of my browser. I have been in like the progressive circles, but you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes elections just don't cut it, and sometimes you gotta even wonder, are elections all that useful? In any case, let's get to it. I have a list here. So, House Joint Resolution 41, these are all like, disapproving of this rule and that rule. For instance, this one requires resource extraction users to disclose payments to governments for extraction. So this is the first one, and you'll notice that the first ones he signs, or most of them, are for the fossil fuel industry, including this one, for instance. As it says here, it nullifies this rule finalized by the Securities and Exchange Commission under Dodd-Frank. Um, and I gotta say, like, it really allows for a lot of corruption. There's not a whole lot that we can do here about this other than kind of, go for our own, go solar or for other renewable energy sources that we can possibly rely on. And the next one is about nullifying the stream protection rule, which used to impact surface coal mining operations on surface water, groundwater, and the productivity of mining operation sites. So basically, it was against fossil fuel industries having their operations near water. Now, of course, you might have seen reports of, for instance, even fracking. Fracking near water sources ruins the water, makes it flammable and probably quite toxic. And that's especially true for coal mining. It was like a big giveaway for big coal for sure. So as you can see here, the next one is the one that requires background checks for the mentally ill. The way it's summarized is kind of convoluted because it says relating to revising regulations, establishing procedures, and oh wait, that's not this one. I guess I put that out. I guess I just didn't have that one up. Anyways, this one being the 40th is for it was a gun regulation. And it's a pretty common sense one. Not universal background checks, but for people who are like, what, they're probably unreliable. Let's just put it that way. Unstable. Next one, 44. Okay, this is the one that I actually have up here. nullifying the rule from the Department of Interior, establishing procedures for preparing, revising, and amending land use claims. I mean, this isn't always a fossil fuel thing, and it could also be just mining in general, or it could be just some other transformation thing. But these are so far these are pretty big regulations. There's not a whole lot that we can kind of combat in these ways. That's just how it is. I was kind of hoping to kind of think of like ways to go around these, but if they have the money and they have the power, then they're gonna do what they want to do, and we're just gonna have to suck it up, like it or not. All right, so this one, there was a couple here in the first 70 days that are about education. So this is about, let me see here. Yeah, 57. Relating to accountability and state plans under the, I think, Education Standards, or Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. Just a bunch of standards out the window. Who cares? Who cares? These are our children, but whatever, you know. So at least like this is kind of something that we can, rally around, say, oh, hey, we can, I mean, rally like in spite of, I mean, say, oh, hey, state authority, you should have good standards, and maybe go to some like private institutions or something. But for now, we're in a tough spot. Okay, 6 or almost 7 minutes in, not bad. Let's see here. Another education one. These are kind of back to back. This one requires teacher preparation program quality assessments. So again, it's an education thing. So it isn't something that we have no control over. We can, really demand them. We can, write to our school boards, run for school boards, and then, go from there. So these ones okay, the ones about land use, fossil fuel industries. I mean, we can stop relying on them, but it's on like a person by person basis. So that's difficult. Next is House Joint Resolution 42. Oh, this is the one Oh no, this is a different one. This is about drug testing, unemployment compensation. Now this I'm actually not against as much as the others, because I mean, recreational. You're at home. It's late. It's in the evening. You just do one. Then by the time you go to bed, the buzz or whatever is gone away. Then I guess that's fine. But yeah, I guess this one's okay. This one gets my like stamp of like approval over all the others so far, including this one. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this administration has been abysmal regarding privacy. Just the other day, like a week ago, there was a rule for like, I mean, there was like all of a sudden now people not now the government can kind of spy on you for this Russia thing or whatever it is. Oh, we got to find Russia wherever we look, so we got to look everywhere. Constitutional rights, what are those? Let me see, the time, 9 minutes. Okay, so I'm just gonna get to these last three ones, or this one and the next two, and just kind of browse through the rest of the things. Let's see. Yeah, so this one required broadband providers to respect privacy. Uh, I mean, we can hope that there are broadband providers that don't. I mean, that do respect privacy, but not a whole lot of them in general out there with the kind of regulations that are on, the lack of competition. You got Comcast in one area, AT&T in another, and I don't know what in some other areas, but they have like huge swaths. They're just pretty much regional monopolies. All right. HJ Resolution 69 providing for, let's see here. Oh yeah, I'm assuming that the wording takings would probably be hunting. So this isn't exactly something that affects people in particular, but if you care much about animals, then this is concerning. This just if you're in a wildlife refuge, you can just hunt. Doesn't matter. You can just go ahead and hunt in those refuges. All right, next, House Joint Resolution 83. Department, okay, nullifies this rule about the employer's ongoing obligation to make and maintain records of work-related injuries and illnesses. Now that's, I guess, pretty important. I mean, if I guess it kind of hurts like employees more than employers. Because then, employers might know, oh, this person is clumsy. Maybe I won't hire them for this. Or this person has this illness. I'm not going to hire them for that. Although there are regulations against some of that too, so there's that. Uh, so maybe not a terrible thing, I guess. All right, let's go from here. So this last one was in. I'm gonna just kind of quickly go through the rest of these that are in the first 100 days, since we're definitely going on the 10-minute, 11-minute, 12-minute mark. So just keep going until I reach May. The ones that were signed in May, unlike in ones signed in April of last year. Okay, provide for the. Yeah, I'm not including this internal stuff in case you were wondering, because you run your organization the way you want to, I mean, preferably like the employees run it, but at least it's better than some like outside force that doesn't know what's going on and doesn't even care about the people working there and third parties and all that. So disapproving the rule, okay, relating to savings arrangements. I guess this one's another like internal thing, but I mean, I guess it is like in states, so I'd still count it. So that's unfortunate. Having people working for states won't have, I guess, 401ks or something. I don't know. That's kind of unfortunate for them. Let's see here. Running for appointment, a bunch of appointments, amend. Well, I guess we've reached May. Find one more. Repeal the rule issued by the Highway Administration entitled Metropolitan Planning Organization Coordination. Okay, so the rule revised transportation regulations with regard to the alignment of the regulations, blah, 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 relating to the establishment of metropolitan planning area boundaries and the designation of the planning organizations. That could be that, yeah, that could be pretty bad, I mean, those organizations could be unaccountable and they could just put something somewhere with no regard for, for instance, traffic, or if people just don't want all that there, like a mall or something. All right, so I think that'll be it for this video. It's kind of long, probably like 15 minutes. But that's that. You can see, the mirror effect in a way. Anyways, next time I do this will probably not be so scrappy, if you know what I mean. I'll probably have like a better microphone, but for the time being, this is just a pilot. I don't really have a lot of time for this. This is just kind of looking ahead, probably in like May or so. Maybe I'll do a May Day thing. Uh, we'll see. Goodbye.